My name is Sonny Francesconi, and I had the opportunity to serve on the Guatemala mission team just a few weeks ago. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your support and prayers, and to share with you the ways in which the Lord worked with us serving in Guatemala. From June 7th to June 13th, we served alongside Engadi Ministries in the community of Guatemala City Zone 18. Zone 18 is a highly impoverished area that is often overlooked by the government. Our team was able to serve the people of this community in a spiritual and tangible ways. God gave us the opportunity to do many things, including fixing an area that was flooding by expanding the sewer system. We actually painted walls in a soccer field in a school, and we carried a lot of dirt to the other side of a housing area so we could clear that to plant a garden, and then the bottom of the hill we cleared the dirt so the next missions team could build a home. When I say a home, don't think of Anderson County. Think of metal shanties that are about 400 square feet, and this is where these people live. I want to share one personal story of the many that there were. I met a young man named Miguel, and he's about mid-30s, and he was sitting on the steps as we were working, and I just made my way over to him and asked him how he was doing. And he was more than kind enough to speak to me about his life in Paradise, in Zona 18, Zone 18. As I mentioned earlier, this is a very dangerous neighborhood, and he lived through some of these dangers growing up, and now he was pretty much homeless, living on the streets. And I asked him some pointed questions. There was a mural on the wall depicting Jesus with a couple of children, and I said, do you know who that is? He said, yeah, that's Jesus Christ, that's my God. And it turns out that he had some Mayan belief systems in him. He told me that he could never leave Zone 18, that he was condemned there for life. And I said, why is that? If I put you in the car with me and took you out of it, what would happen? He goes, well, terror would reign on the city. I said, how is that? He said, well, my forefathers made a pact with the gods, and thus I have to carry that pact. And so I looked at him. He had mentioned that he was created in the image of God. And I said, look, according to your words, you said that you were created in the image of God, as was I. That makes us born-again Christians. If you gave your life to Jesus, you're born again. So who is your God? And he paused, and he kind of looked stunned. And I pointed to the mural. I said, Jesus Christ, he's my God, he's your God. And we submit and serve him now. The pact that your forefathers made was all well and good for them, but it's not for you. So after our little conversation, I felt better knowing that I solidified his understanding of what Christianity is. I allowed him to understand that if he gave his life to Christ, to which he said he did, he is now a new creation, and he can follow Jesus Christ, not worrying about any other belief systems. And I say this because there are many down there. And so I believe and I hope that he is now a Christ-following Christian. So I want to encourage you for our next missions trip to please get involved, whichever way that is.